the valley, you big girl.
What mad mongrel let you loose in our waters?
Are you ready for tomorrow?
Ready to beat you by, say 50 metres?
We'll see.
See you, mate.
Is that Hill?
Yeah.
Is he any good? You see, I was thinking of putting down a few friendly bets.
Oh, yeah? You want to know which horse to back?
Yeah, well, any inside information would be gratefully appreciated.
Oh, I reckon it's going to be pretty close, Sykesy. Hill's probably the number 2 freediver in the Southern Hemisphere.
Really? So who's number 1?
Cause of death was drowning.
Told you so.
By saltwater immersion.
Like I said, the man has simply overestimated his own potential.
Well, he underestimated his killer, that's for certain.
Sorry?
Although he drowned, he was hit hard over the head sometime before that. There is evidence of blunt trauma to the forehead. The skull is fractured, suggesting he was hit with some considerable force. The wound is badly broken, which would be consistent with someone having been struck with a blunt object. Now, whatever it is, there's some kind of pattern on it. You can see the imprint it has left.
I'll take your word for it.
So, would the blow have caused unconsciousness?
Yes, but it wasn't enough to kill him.
So he was hit on the head somewhere else, then dumped in the harbour while he was still alive?
The crime scene officer identified considerable abrasions of the wetsuit around the buttocks and to the calves, which would seem to indicate that the body was dragged some distance before being disposed of.
Someone went to a lot of effort to make it look like an accident.
Just a second. We're talking murder here, aren't we?
He's from surveillance. Hopefully this material will match the wetsuit he was wearing.
Jim Williams didn't float to the middle of the harbour.
No. Those guys.
So he was dumped more or less where we found him.
Yeah, it looks that way.
So who did it?
Let's see what Mrs. Williams has to say for herself, huh? Mrs. Williams, I was just wondering, why didn't you see your husband when he came home from Melbourne early?
I haven't seen my husband for most of the year. He's been busy with the company, dispute with the union, and I would have thought you'd seen it on the news. No. Anyway, Jim wasn't just some lackey. He was the managing director, and he was hardly ever home.
But he was home yesterday. So where were you?
Let's see. I left here at about 3 in the afternoon. I had an hour's float tank therapy and half an hour debrief. I had dinner with a friend, and I came home this morning.
So you were with this friend all night?
Yes.
What's your friend's name? Mrs. Williams?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't tell you that.
Mrs. Williams, we're investigating the death of your husband. If you can't tell us where you are, then we might think that you got something to hide.
He's a married man. If the news about our relationship became public, it would destroy his wife and family, and I don't want that, you see, because she's a good friend of mine. My husband and I had what I suppose you'd call an open relationship.
Does that mean your husband had a partner as well?
No. Jim never really liked sex all that much. Shame, really. He had such a gorgeous penis.
We still need a name.
Then you'll have to arrest me.
Oh, we will. If we have to, we will.
Arrest her? Like throttle her.
So I suppose we wait for the crime scene to turn something up.
When do I know one at Emerald Shipping reported Williams missing?
That's what the free enterprise system's all about. Getting big enough to have a big view.
Mr. Hansford will see you now.
Mate, their blue-eyed cod is out of this world, yeah. Look, I'm going to have to go. Well, I'll get Wendy to make a reservation, eh? Yeah. Okay, bye, mate. Detectives. I can't tell you how I felt when I heard the news. Can't believe anybody would want to harm Jim Williams. Please, make yourselves comfortable.
The news of Jim Williams' death hasn't been released yet.
Oh, I spoke to Beth.
Mrs. Williams rang you?
No, I called her. I mean, Jim. I spoke to her and she told me. Please.
Do you know of anyone who would have held a grudge against Mr. Williams?
No. Well, I thought you might be asking that question, so I put my thinking cap on. Please. You see, a short time ago, we had to let a lot of our dockside workers go. It was a very ugly business and it didn't make us any friends.
Well, people get sacked all the time. Doesn't mean they go around knocking off the company directors.
Yeah, but Jim was the key negotiator. He'd formed a relationship with a lot of the men. They trusted him.
They felt sold out.
There's been a lot of general attacks on property belonging to upper management. Cars scratched, tyres slashed, that sort of thing. I went out the other day and somebody's put a brick through the window of the Jag. And I know that Jim's been suffering the same sort of problem.
Was any of this reported to the police?
Well, yes, of course, but as per usual, the cops failed to turn anything up.
You have a list of the sacked personnel?
Yeah. I'll have a word with Wendy.
Did you know Mrs. Williams was having an affair?
Yes, Jim mentioned something once.
You don't happen to know who it is, do you?
No, sorry, can't help you there.
You ready to make disgruntled union worker number 43?
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah.
Another one with asbestosis. Great company to work for. Your dad doesn't seem too upset by the news, Mr. Guppy.
Yeah, well, what'd you expect? He always reckoned he was going to outlive Williams. Till you blokes walked through the door, reckoned he was going to lose that bet.
How did he go?
Sorry?
He wants to know how he died.
Oh, he drowned.
Come on, you old bastard. No time to die. You haven't had your tea yet?
Is he going to be okay?
Yeah. Just putting on a show.
You were told that your dad was involved in an assault on Mr. Williams, is that right?
Yeah, tried to have a go himself. Wound up 2 weeks in hospital. Stupid bastard.
Where was he on Monday night?
Here.
You sure about that?
Yeah, we watched the footy. Canterbury played Cronulla.
Sharks lose?
Yeah.
That'd be right.
Yeah. Nearly killed the old man. Does him more harm than stuff on his lungs.
Nice boat. Is that yours?
Yeah. So.
Who's the young lady on the side? Is that your girlfriend?
We'll be off. Thanks for your help.
You've been briefed for a crime scene, so you know what you're looking for. Let's get with it.
Sarge?
Yes, failing.
Just the visibility, it's practically nil. Get wet. Hey, Sarge! Feel like we're in a schnitzel for tea?
And lovely chocolate bunnies and cocoa. Fuck, who's a lucky girl. Yeah, okay, Possum. Yeah, I love you too. Bye. Meredith said to say hello. You married?
No.